Well, hello everyone and welcome to this Monday.com tutorial where we'll be showing you how to use Monday.com for task management. Monday is an awesome tool to help you streamline your workflows and gain clear visibility across different teams and empower smart decisions with AI and make your work a lot more easier. We'll be taking you through the different features, what you can do with it in use cases, and at the end you'll be able to use Monday.com to improve your work efficiency. Right away, we're going to be going over to the top right corner where we have the Get Started button to show you how you can actually create your Monday.com account. Now on this page, you'll need to put in your email or company email, or you have the option to continue with Google. So we're going to click on Continue with Google. Then you will be selecting the email address you'd like to use, then confirm by clicking on Continue. And here you're going to state what brings you to Monday.com. So we're trying to do some task management and we're going to be clicking on work. And then you're going to choose your current role. We're going to say team leader, click on continue. And there are other options right here, such as how many people are on your team. We could say 6 to 10 and how many people work at your company. We could say 100 to 250, click on continue, and then select what you'd like to manage first. Then we're going to click on operations, click on continue, and then you'll need to set what your focus is. And based on what we're showing you today, we'll be choosing task management. Click on continue to proceed. And then as the last question, you'll be stating how you heard about Monday.com. You can choose YouTube, click on continue. Now on this page, you get the chance to add other team members and you could also set their roles, right? But we can do this later if we're not ready to do this now. And we can click and remind me later. And now for the first board, we need to provide a name and we'll be saying project roadmap, then click on next. Now, because we're trying to use Monday.com for task management, you can select columns that will fit what you're interested in. For example, you need to have an owner, status, due date. Then you can also decide to have files, priority, or notes, right? So we're just going to be selecting these options and then click on next. Now here you have tasks view, task by status, task by owner, overdue task. We want to add this because we're talking about tasks and sometimes we know that tasks can actually go overdue, so this is important so we can see which are late and which are on time. And then you could choose task due by date and then click on next. Now here are the different layouts which you can have on your Monday.com. You have the table, then you have the timeline, you have Kanban, calendar, Gantt, and cards. So depending on which appeals to you or which helps you to make more sense of it at a glance, you could go ahead and choose it. We're going to be choosing table because we believe this helps you to see different options the way we like it. So again, it's your choice. After you've made your choice, you can go ahead and click and get started. And right now we're on our workspace. Remember, we're trying to manage our tasks. So you can see here task 1, task 2, task 3. So here you could right away click on it or double click on it and change the name of the task. So say we're working on a project and we have our first project right here. We're going to name it research. And here you could put in some other information such as updates, files, activity log, but we're going to be closing this. And then for task 2, we could say general reading, click on enter. And then in task 3, we can say essay. Now these are just different tasks which we can use to help ourselves to know and break down different tasks into smaller steps. This actually helps you to stay organized. So right here on this column, when you click on the icon, here you have the option to add more details, right? So we could say make a research on the given topic. Great, so we could say updates. So as you can see, now we have make a research on the given topic. So everyone who is right here will be seeing that there is a comment right here. So this actually helps to add some supplementary information to this task. So whomever is the owner right here in the owner column, this will help the owner to know what update or what information needs to be taken note of. And then you have the status. Now here in the status you have working on it, done, and stuck. Now this came automatically, but this doesn't mean that you need to leave it like this because it might not be true in every case. So we're going to click on this, and here you have done, working on it, stuck, not started. You could actually edit the labels to flow with what you're doing. So we can have this, or you could actually change it. You could change stock to issue, right? And this kind of gives you an understanding that this actually has an issue. Now, if it's actually being worked on, you could have it say working on it. Now, also there is the due date where you can also set it so you can actually follow through and make some accomplishments as you're progressing with your tasks. Now here you can see due date April 21, and you can see the tick right here, done on time. Now this is because the label or the status label is currently on done. Now how about we change it? If we change it to working on it, you can see that it's back to nothing. That means that it's currently being worked on. Now you can see that the research is being worked on, but the due date is on the 20th, and we're past the 20th of this month. So what we can do is to click on it and move it ahead. If we move it ahead, it no longer becomes a problem. However, you don't want to always do this for all your tasks. So you could simply say, we're going to take it back to 18th, and it's showing you that it's 3 days overdue. Now, is this important? Yes, it helps you to keep track of your tasks and know which tasks have to be treated as an emergency. Then of course you have your notes here, which we selected. There is the 3 dots there. When you select it, you can use this to sort the column. So we have action items, meeting notes, and other. Now say you have the research task actually done, you're going to click on working on it and simply change it to done. And you can see some celebratory animation right there. And then it says done after 3 days deadline. So this also gives you an information on when this was actually done. And you could use this to track your performance. You can click on the checkbox right there. And then when you click on the checkbox, you have some actionable items right here, such as duplicating it, exporting it, archiving, deleting, and you have the option to move to. So if we say move to, you can say move to group or move to board. Then you also have other apps which you can use to integrate with this task, and that's pretty much up to you. If we click on apps, it can show you recommended apps, or you could go over to the app marketplace to see how you can have some integrations added to your task. Then of course, if you want to create a new task, you can simply click on new task, and you can see right here it's created another one. Click away and it's going to save as is. Of course, we could click on it, click on delete, and this will delete the task there. Now if you want to move this task from to do up to completed, you can simply hover over it, and when the mouse changes to the hold icon, you can come over here and bring it to completed. And there you have it under completed. So this is really a good tool if you're trying to keep track of your different tasks, and this will help you to make progress easily and at a glance. Now, of course, you might be wondering what more you can do with Monday.com. There are lots of things you could do with it to help with your task management. So for example, we were talking about having a work being done late. So we're going to decide to use the automation feature in a scenario where a task which is running late can actually be a trigger for notifying someone. So if you're a team lead and you have tasks to be done by others and they're running late, you can set Monday.com to give you an automation to help you trigger a notification to you. So we're going to be trying to show you how you can do this. Click on automate. And then here you have basic automations, such as when an item is created, assign creator as a person, when status changes to something, notify someone, and these are templates basically. But of course you could add your custom automation, but let's just show you in this case how to use this template. So click on use template, and then it says when status, as this is a placeholder, you can click on it and choose status, but of course you could choose a new column. Right? So we can close that and then click on status, select status. So it says when status changes to something, and what is that? You can click on it and you can see the options that are right there under the status column, right? So we can say when the status has an issue, for example, so you've given some tasks and someone labels it as having an issue or they're being stuck, then Monday will say when status changes to issue, then notify someone, right? That's an example. So we can click on this and then you can say notify me, right? That's going to put your name right there. Then you have then notify, you need to click on the placeholder for notify, and then you're going to put in some message right here. And here you can see the placeholder. Hey, items assignee, item's name is marked as item's status, right? So we could go ahead and put this on. So right here we have hey, task name, that is the task that has the issue, has been marked as, so we could say status, right? So hey, the task name has been marked as task status. So basically what you'll be receiving is hey, task 3 or whatever the task is, research or essay, has been marked as having an issue, right? So this is good, and you can see everything is looking great. So we can click on create automation, and here it says when status changes to issue, notify me. So this is currently turned on. As you can see, it's toggled on, and you could toggle it off if you don't want it, but we're going to be toggling it on. Click on the X, and then when the owner of this task is clicking on this and changes it to issue, there will be a notification, as you can see right here. After clicking on it, it says automations, hey, essay has been marked as issue, right? So you can see here the task name and has been marked as issue. So this is how you get on top of your different tasks being managed by everyone. You'll need to rely on everyone to update your Monday.com dashboard so you can be notified based on the automations that you've been able to create. And at the end, this keeps everything in check. So if you're running a team or there are a set of tasks that need to be handled and this has an issue, you can come right away, look for the owner who has been assigned, check the due date, and have a meeting with the person in order to see a possible solution to the problem. At the end of the day, you can still come over here and decide to add a new group. Now you have to do, then you have completed, and the next could be published, right? Because the task can be done but hasn't been published yet. For example, the essay, say it's being done and then it's being moved to the completed area. You'll need to finally publish this essay if it's something you need to publish or submit. So you could have another group called submitted, and this is where you'll be putting everything that has been done. Now, if you're wondering how to add another person to your task management team, you can come over to owner. Say you want to add the general reading for someone else to take the lead. You can click on the plus icon right here, and then you have the option to invite a new member by email. Right? So this is a great option if you'd like to add more people to your team to make your work advance even further. So this is what you need to do, and with each task, you can attach the owner to the task applicable to them. So at this point, we hope that using Monday.com for your task management is no longer a hassle compared to the beginning of this video. So go ahead and use Monday.com to manage your task by creating different tables and different sections, managing them using automations to keep your workflow in check and succeed in managing all your tasks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.